What's up, interweb? Raikkonen here, and welcome to week number 3 of the PPL. Now, this week we are facing Titos of the Sports Lisbon Brafica, great friend of mine, Titos, and this is going to be a really fun match. I've been looking forward to this one for a little while, mainly because I'm facing Titos, and he's a good friend of mine, so this is going to be a really fun match. And just to preface this, I'm going to get into the team breakdown in a second, but just so you guys know, there was a transfer window after week 2. And there's been one change to the team, which is I have dropped Aragog the Galvantula and I have acquired ERB the Hippowdon. Anyone gets that reference? Props. ERB the Hippowdon. And I'm so happy with that because I now have the combination of Hippowdon and xKito. Power! That's all I have to say. So I'm going to be getting into the team breakdown for this week's team for the PPL match against Titos. For those of you who don't know what the PPL is, it's a league, and links will be in the description for the PPL channel for you to go check out, and you guys can see what it's all about pretty much. You can see what's going down. So, I'm going to get to the team breakdown, but as always, if you don't want to hear me ramble about my team, then you can click the annotation on the screen right now to skip ahead to the battle itself. If you don't want to hear me ramble for a considerable amount of time, although I am going to try and keep it short this week. I know I said that last week, but I'm actually going to try and keep it short this week, and we'll see how this goes. So let's go right on with the team. Now, first things first, let's take a look at the Sports Lisbon Brafica. The Pokemon that Titos can potentially be bringing. He also made one change to his team in the Week 2 transfer window, which I'll get to in a second. His team is Blastoise, Victini, Tyranitar, Mega Charizard X, Raichu, Lucario, Togetic, Porygon 2, Tornadus Therian, Ambipom, and Dusknoir. Now, originally, Titos' team, he had Leavanny, but changed it for Tornadus Therian in the Week 2 transfer window, picking up a very good pick indeed. Now, first things first, when I spot his team, he has a ground weakness, which was exploited in Week 1. In his Week 1 match, his ground weakness was very much exploited by Landorus Therian. And he has a ground weakness, I have Hippowdon and xKito. So, I was feeling pretty confident, not going to lie, I was feeling pretty confident. Obviously, I cannot underestimate some of his other threats. I'm not just going to say, you know, oh, I get up Sand Rush xKito and I win. Because it's not that simple. He does have immunities. He has Togetic, he has Tornadus Therian. Porygon 2 is always ridiculously bulky. Dusknoir is very bulky. So there's things I have to watch out for, but overall I'm pretty confident. Let's get into my team now. Yeah, the most obvious thing for me to do, but the best thing for me to do, honestly, is to bring Sand against him. I'm going to bring a Sand Rush xKito. And I'm going to be bringing Sand to outspeed his entire team and hit ridiculously hard because it's an xKito. Like, that's what xKitos do. Now, so the first book I'm bringing is Guacamole the xKito with the Life Orb, with Sand Rush as its ability with Earthquake, Rock Slide, Iron Head, and Swords Dance. 84 HP, 252 attack, and 172 speed. Jolly nature. I did want to go Adamant, but a Scarf Tornadus Therian outspeeds an Adamant max speed xKito. So I couldn't be having that because that could be very well something he could bring. He could very well bring Scarf Landorus Therian. So I can't be having him being outsped. So I'm bringing 172 speed Jolly and max attack. Yeah, instead. xKito's there to sweep. As soon as Sand is up, he's guaranteed to outspeed his entire team. And he can fire off Earthquakes and Rock Slides and Iron Heads, which are going to absolutely destroy things. If I can get up a Swords Dance, which I feel like there should be a few opportunities for me to get up a Swords Dance, then his stuff dies. There are a couple of things to watch out for in the form of Porygon 2 is still crazy bulky. Blastoise can obviously stop xKito. Vacuum Wave on Lucario could be a thing, which will be no fun. And I do have to watch out for you to start setting up agilities. If he sets up agility on something, then I have to watch out for that too. But overall, I'm fairly confident with Guacamole to do his sweeping thing. That's what he does. He's Guacamole. He sweeps. Next, if I'm bringing Sand Rush, I need Sand. And I'm bringing the newbie. ERB, the Hippowdon, is coming with the Smooth Rock, with Sandstream as its ability, with Stealth Rock, Earthquake, Stone Edge, and Slack Off. Max HP, max special defense. Which nature's that? It is Careful. Plus special defense minus special attack. Now, this Hippowdon, yeah, specially defensive Hippowdon, and it basically is there to get up sand to help xKito. It's also there to get up rocks, and rocks are actually pretty damn important because they turn things that have a chance to OHKO with xKito, they turn them into guaranteed OHKOs. And it's actually a surprising amount. I think it's 3 or 4 pokes on his team. I can potentially have a chance to OHKO with a +2 Earthquake, but with Stealth Rock damage, it's a guaranteed OHKO with for a +2 Earthquake. So it's really actually really important for me to get Stealth Rocks in this one. And I know he has rapid spin on his Blastoise potentially, and defog on Togetic. So that's fine with me. Hazards don't phase my team particularly, so he could bring in defog, but that's absolutely fine because on the turn he goes for a defog. I could be coming around and getting Stealth Rock set up, getting Sand set up, getting xKito and setting up an SD, whatever it may be. It gives me an opportunity. If I have Hazards up, it puts pressure on him to use a move of that kind, to use Rapid Spin, to use defog. It gives me an opportunity to set up whatever I need to set up, pretty much. So that is Hippowdon. Obviously, Earthquake and Stone Edge. Quake Edge destroys his team, and if I need him to fire off a safe Earthquake, then I'll do it. Still going to be powerful. The next poke I am bringing is Bowtruckle the Sneasel with Life Orb, with Inner Focus as ability, with Knockoff, Ice Shard, Fake Out, and Focus Punch. Hell yeah. With Max Attack, Max Speed, Adamant. And this guy is here mainly for knockoff. He's there to knock off Togetic and knock off Porygon 2. Knock off their Eviolites, because they are much, much easier to kill when they don't have an Eviolite. It's primarily that is all he's there for. And one thing that I found kind of hilarious too was that if he wants to try and switch in Charizard to like not have anything have its item knocked off, if he brings Charizard and wants to switch it in, then a combination of a knockoff and an Ice Shard kill Charizard. Or if I have Stealth Rock set up, knockoff kills. It just straight up kills Charizard. So that's kind of hilarious. The reason I have Focus Punch, by the way, is because if I switch in Sneasel on a Togetic or Porygon 2, he's going to be scared of knockoff. And something that's a potential switch in is Lucario. It takes the knockoff pretty well, and he can have Justified. And he might want a Justified boost if he's physically attacking or whatever. And if I can predict that, if I think he's going to switch into Lucario, I'll just go for a Focus Punch and fire off a 150 base power super effective move on a Lucario and see how much damage that does. And I'm assuming the combination of that, if it doesn't kill for some reason, that doesn't kill, then that plus Ice Shard probably will. So, yeah, that's what a Focus Punch is there for if you're wondering. Unlikely I'm going to use it, but just in case, it's there, you never know. The next Poke I'm bringing after Bowtruckle is Celery the Celebi. Leftovers with Natural Cure, with Healing Wish, Earth Power, Giga Drain, and U-Turn. Max HP, Max Special Attack, Modest. This guy is here for Blastoise. Straight up just for Blastoise. That's all he needs to do is just kill Blastoise, because Blastoise is one of the things that stops xKito sweeping. I can't 2-hit KO a physically defensive Blastoise with xKito if it's at neutral, if he has leftovers. I have a chance to if he doesn't. If he does have leftovers, it's a guaranteed 3-hit KO. So I need something to take down Blastoise, and preferably something that can take out Blastoise while he's trying to Rapid Spin, so he doesn't have hazards. So he does have hazards, sorry, so I can ensure hazards are on his side. Something I really want to do. And Healing Wish is always good in case he burns xKito. If he burns xKito, it's also a bit of mind games, because if he burns xKito, he might think he's safe. He might get really confident, start playing a little more recklessly, and then I can get Celebi in, get a Healing Wish, get xKito back to full, start sweeping again. That's what xKito's there for. It's there just a contingency plan, just in case something goes wrong. I miscalc something, or make a misplay, something misses, I don't know. Just in case. It's there for a bit of backup. U-turn for Switch Initiative. He's probably not going to want to stay in with his Blastoise. If so, I'm going to U-turn, and I can go into something else. And get Switch Initiative, because it's always handy. The next Pokemon bringing after Celery the Celebi is Rhyperior the Rhyperior, with leftovers with Solid Rock as its ability, with Stealth Rock, Raw, Earthquake, and Toxic. Max HP, Max Defense. Impish. This guy is here to be Physical Wall. He's there to set up Stealth Rocks. He's there to Raw things. If things want to set up Agilities, particularly Raichu I'm scared of, and I think, does Lucario get agility? I think it does. I might be wrong with that. I don't know. If things want to set up agilities or want to just set up in general, I can raw things. That's what Rapture is there for, is to raw things. Toxic, wear stuff down, like Porygon 2 if I have to. I know an Ice Beam is obviously not going to appreciate an Ice Beam from Porygon 2, but if worst comes to worst, if Sneasel's dead or whatever and I don't have knockoff capabilities, then Toxic, wear it down. That's what I'm going to have to do. And roaring stuff just to get extra stealth rock damage is always going to be handy with things like Togetic and Tornadus Therian running around. I know Tornadus Therian with Regenerator technically doesn't take any stealth rock damage, because if you take stealth rock damage, switch him out, and then he comes back in, he's back to full anyway because of Regenerator, but that's absolutely fine. As long as I'm starting to wear him down, that's fine. And then the last poke I am bringing on this team, I went back and forth for so long, I didn't know what to put on the 6th slot. I could have put Mega Altaria, I could have put Spiritomb, I could have put Infernape, and in the end I went with Fire Monkey the Infernape. I could have gone with bulky Mega Altaria with Heal Bell, I was considering that, but I figured I wanted a backup plan. In case something went wrong, in case xKito died, he gets a crit, he misses, xKito misses a Rock Slide and dies to something. Something goes wrong. I need something else that can kill things, because nothing else on my team is there to be offensive. Other than, you know, Sneasel, but it's there for knockoff, that's it. I needed something that can still hit ridiculously hard, and what better than a banded Infernape. I'm bringing Choice Band, Iron Fist, Mach Punch, Close Combat, Shadow Claw, U-Turn, with max attack, max speed, Adamant. Mach Punch is there to deal with Lucario with Vacuum Wave. Mach Punch is just very, very powerful priority. And Close Combat is there for Porygon 2 if its EV Light has been knocked off, even if it hasn't, just to get some damage down. Shadow Claw is there for Dust Noir because it is crazy bulky, but that does about a banded Shadow Claw, it does about 50% to a Dust Noir, and obviously he can't burn me. My camera stopped recording. I was really hoping to get the team preview done before it stopped recording, but alas, it was not meant to be. Shadow Claw is there to, for Dust Noir. U-Turn again for priority, so I don't have Volt Turn on this team. I have Turn, I guess. 2 U-Turners, and just for Switch Initiative, which is always handy. That's pretty much my team. It's a very basic concept, which is get up sand, sweep with Excadrill, and I just have my other ones are there just to pick off the threats that stop that, and then just allow Excadrill to step in and sweep the rest of him. That's what this team is about. That's what I'm hoping to do. Whether it works or not, I have no idea. There's a few things I'm watching out for, such as whatever berry it is that weakens ground moves. I'm watching out for that. I'm watching out for air balloons. I'm watching out for special Victinis. I'm watching out for Vacuum Wave Lucario, Surf Raichu. There's so many things that he can bring, but I feel like I can deal with them. I feel like I have ways to deal with them fairly comfortably. So that's my team, and we're going to go ahead and get on with the match. Thank you for sticking through this team preview, and I hope you guys enjoy this match. I'm really looking forward to it, so we'll see you guys in the match against the Sports Lisbon Brafica. Alright, here we are with the match against Sports Lisbon Brafica in Week 3 of the PPL. You can see the teams on the screen right now, and obviously I've got my team, as I said in the team breakdown, and Titos' team is pretty much the team I expected him to bring. There's no Victini, no Charizard X, which is what I expected, not a lot of ground weaknesses. He has Blastoise, which I'm assuming was physically defensive. He has Raichu, Lucario, Togetic, Porygon 2, and Tornadus Therian. Now, I expected either Raichu or Lucario, or potentially both, to be Air Balloon. I thought that was pretty much guaranteed. I just had to figure out who was Air Balloon and hopefully deal with it somehow. I also knew that knockoff was going to be kind of important. I definitely wanted to knock off Porygon 2. Togetic wasn't as important, but if I could knock off, that would help. And obviously I have Tornadus Therian. The way I have to deal with that is get up sand, get an Excadrill, and Rock Slider, and he's dead. That's what I have to do. I am going to predict him to lead with Blastoise, expecting me to lead with Hippowdon. As it turns out, I lead with Celebi, and he doesn't lead with Blastoise. He actually predicts me to lead with my Celebi, predicting his Blastoise. So he's actually going to lead with Tornadus Therian. Great, am I right? So there's Tornadus Therian, and I'm going to lead with Celebi. Now, obviously, I don't want to be staying in against a Tornadus Therian. U-Turn's going to screw me up, so I expected the U-Turn. I'm going to go into Rapture to take the U-Turn. And he makes the best prediction ever. He goes for the Grass Knot, and that is going to OHKO Rapture first turn. Now, Rapture probably wouldn't have done that much in this match. All of his team is specially attacking, every single one of them. So there's no physical attack whatsoever, and he's physically defensive. But that's not the point. It was mental. That got in my head, and I was like, oh my god, he's just predicted me. He's in my head. He knows what I'm doing, and I just got so scared. Now I'm going to make a series of really bad plays as well. I'm going to bring in a Powder to set up the sand. I'm going to go for the Stealth Rocks. He predicts that goes for the Taunt, and now I'm like, he's in my head. He knows exactly what I'm doing. He's going to go for an Air Slash and try and do some damage. I'm especially defensive. I know I can take it. I'm going to go for a Stone Edge, and I'm going to miss the Stone Edge, which absolutely sucks. And now at this point, he's seen the Stone Edge. I predict him to switch out. He doesn't. He goes for the Grass Knot, which I think I can take. I do take it, just a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. 8 HP. I'm going to go for an Earthquake, predicting him to switch out, having seen the Stone Edge, but he stayed in, which means I'll go for the Earthquake. Now, I'm just freaking out at this point. I don't know what to do. I'm going to go into xKito because the sand's up, and I have to try and Rock Slide this guy, hoping he goes for the Air Slash at this point. He does go for the Air Slash, and that is going to do not that much to xKito because it's resisted. Now, I know I can outspeed. I'm guaranteed to outspeed, and I can go for a Rock Slide and take out this Tornado Steering, which is exactly what happens. Luckily, he stayed in. He told me afterwards he doesn't know why he stayed in. He just kind of did. I'm going to go for the Rock Slide, take out Tornado Steering, and thank God that thing's down. That was such a threat. And that was just got in my head so much. He just predicted me so much. He's going to bring in Lucario at this point, and I see he has the Air Balloon. I was like, okay, Lucario is Air Balloon. Let's work around this. I have to switch out xKito because there's nothing I can do. I'm going to go into Inferno at this point. This was another really bad play. For some reason, I expected the Blaze Kick or some kind of fire move. And he just goes for an Aura Sphere. Why would he go for the fire move when he has fight? I don't know. I don't know what's going through my head. I was panicking a lot at this point. And now I can't stay in. I know I outspeed with Mach Punch and kill him, but I could not risk him having extreme speed. So I had to switch out Inferno and go into Celebi. He is going to switch out into his Togetic, predicting the Mach Punch from Inferno, which revealed to me he didn't have extreme speed, which is very nice. So if he had extreme speed, we would have gone for it there. So I know he doesn't have extreme speed, which is very nice to know. Now at this point, I can do nothing against a Togetic. I am going to go for a U-turn, just to switch and do negligible damage. And I didn't really know what he wanted to do. Potentially, like, I don't know, set up a screen or something. I didn't really know what he could do at all. But I figured this was a good time to bring in Sneasel and go for a knockoff on this Togetic. But he goes for the Yawn. And I don't want Sneasel going to sleep. It's too valuable. I cannot have him sleeping because he needs to knock off Porygon too. So I'm going to switch out Sneasel. And I am so mad at this point because I could have, at this point, gone for Focus Punch predicting the Lucario. I was this close to going for Focus Punch predicting Lucario, and he does switch into Lucario, but I switched out into Celebi. I was so mad at myself. I was like, oh, why did I not just go for Focus Punch? I should have just been a man. But it was that first play on the first turn just got in my head, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to make the play because he'd been predicting me all match. I'm going to go for a U-turn, hoping to pop that Lucario's Air Balloon, or if he wants to switch, I still get initiative. He goes into Porygon 2, I still get initiative. I'm going to go into Sneasel, and now I know this is a perfect time to go for a knockoff, but I predict the Lucario this time, go for the Focus Punch, and this time he stays in and goes for the Thunderbolt. I was like, God damn it! I just can't read Titos at all. I just cannot read him. Now I'm going to go for a knockoff, and knockoff is Eevee, and that does a butt ton of damage. I thank God for that, but the combination of Life Orb, Recoil, and another Thunderbolt is going to take out Sneasel, which really sucks, because I had Fake Out, I had Ice Shard on this guy, and that would have, you know, really helped me to pop the Lucario's Air Balloon, things like that. Now I'm going to bring in Inferno and threaten out this Porygon 2 with a Fighting move, and he's going to go into Togetic to take the Fighting move. I predict that. I'm going to go for a U-turn because I wanted to switch initiative. I didn't expect him to stay in, and if he did, it's a Porygon 2. I have things to switch into it. So now I'm going to get initiative on this Togetic. Now this would be a great time to bring in Sneasel, but, you know, Sneasel died. So I'm going to bring in Hippowdon because I know Hippowdon, the only thing Hippowdon outspeeds on his team left is Togetic. That's the only thing it outspeeds, so this is going to be the only opportunity I have to get off a slack off and get Hippowdon healthy again. I need it. I need the sand. I need Hippowdon healthy. This is going to be the only opportunity I get to get off a slack off, so I have to do it. I'm going to get up to HP. He's going to go for a Dazzling Gleam to try and finish me off. He told me afterwards he did not expect the slack off, which to me seemed kind of obvious, but hey-oh. Now, I'm going to go for another slack off. I have no reason not to. I'm going to get back up to a butt ton more HP. I need Hippowdon healthy to be able to switch in and get up sand. That's what he needs to do. He's going to go for a Yawn on my Hippowdon, and now at this point, I was fine with that, because Hippowdon's job is to get up rocks and set up sand. He can be asleep and still set up sand, so if I go for Stealth Rocks right now, then he's done his job. He can be asleep for the rest of the match, and it means he can't put anything else to sleep because sleep claws. So I'm going to go for the Stealth Rocks, let Hippowdon go to sleep, as he's going to switch in the Blastoise. Now at this point, I expected him to Rapid Spin, because I thought that was a pretty good play. Switching in Blastoise on the Stealth Rocks means, you know, nothing's going to be taking Stealth Rock damage, and he can just Rapid Spin the next turn, get rid of them. Hippowdon's going to go to sleep. Now at this point, he is going to reveal exactly what this Blastoise is for. This Blastoise was built for Hippowdon, and it was there to take out Hippowdon and nullify the sand. I'm going to switch into Celebi as he goes for the block. Now, his plan was to block in Hippowdon, so I couldn't switch out and just take it down with Scalds. It didn't quite work out like that, because as I said, Celebi is my universal switch-in into Blastoise. If Blastoise is there, Celebi's coming in. I can take any hit from him. Turns out his only attacking move is Scald anyway, so that's absolutely fine with me. Now, I did not want to overpredict at this point. Again, he'd been predicting me all match, so I did not want to go for the U-turn because I had nothing to switch in on a Blastoise. So I'm just going to go for a Giga Drain. It does a butt ton of damage, and he does stay in, which is very nice indeed, as he's going to go for the Rain Dance. Now, at this point, I kind of realized, well, after the match, not at this point, but after the match, I kind of realized that the rain probably helped me a little bit, because at this point, I don't have to worry about waiting for the sand to end before I switch in Hippowdon again to set it up. It still had like another 3-4 turns left, the sand, I'm pretty sure, and then I have to wait for that, and then switch in Hippowdon again to get up the sand again. But at this point, I can bring in Hippowdon whenever I like to get up the sand now, so that probably helped me a little bit. I'm going to go for another Giga Drain, as he's going to switch in Porygon 2, and the combination of 2 Giga Drains is going to take out the Porygon 2, which is very nice indeed. So P2 is down, and that is one of the threats that stopped xKito from sweeping, so I was very happy with that. Now he's going to bring in Shock Boy the Raichu. This play, I'm going to pause this right here. I have to pause this and explain what happened in this play. Because I had Earth Power on Celebi. I was debating for a long time because I was terrified of Signal Beam on Raichu. Absolutely terrified of Signal Beam. I needed Celebi. It was my only answer to Blastoise. It's my only answer to Blastoise. I needed Celebi so badly. But I figured he'd been predicting me all match. I figured he'd predict me to switch out and go for a Surf, because I know he likes to run Surf Raichu, and Surf destroys my team, especially in the rain as well. Because it's in the rain, he'd be more tempted to go for a Surf. So I figured he'd overpredict, go for the Surf, and I'd go for Earth Power. That is what I wanted to do. I leant in to touch Earth Power, and I ran out of time on my turn because it took so long figuring out the Signal Beam. I ran a calc on Signal Beam, etc. I took too long, my own fault. But we'll see what happens now because I ran out of time. Let's see what he does. Turns out, this Raichu goes for Surf, as I predicted, which is absolutely fantastic, but because I ran out of time, in comes Celebi, and he's going to go for a Healing Wish. And at that point, I thought, well, I've lost. Celebi is my only answer to Blastoise, and it just killed itself because I ran out of time. And I know it's my own fault. It's just very frustrating. It's so frustrating, especially because for the first time in the match, I actually predicted him right. I actually predicted him to go for the Surf, and I wanted to go for Earth Power, and I just didn't. I had nothing that I wanted to switch in to take the Healing Wish either, so I just had to switch in a Hippowdon because reasons. Get up the sand again, and I wanted to just... At this point, I figured I probably lost. I'm just going to go for the Stone Edge at this point, predicting him to switch out, and I missed the Stone Edge again, just to rub salt in the wound a little bit more. I figured I'd lost at this point. I just wanted to set up the sand, get an xKito, get as many kills as possible, and just save my differential, pretty much. And he's going to go for the Surf, take out my Hippowdon, which is great because I can bring in xKito at this point. Now I have to be aggressive. If I want to get any form of justification, if I want to win this, if there's a chance that I can still win this, I have to go for the aggressive play, and I have to go for the Rock Slide. Which is perfect because he does switch out and go into his Togetic, which is going to die to a Rock Slide from this xKito. So luckily I managed to get one prediction there, which was nice. Didn't want to go for the Earthquake because he did have Lucario or Togetic to switch in on it, and you know that's just what I wanted to do. I'm going to get a crit. I don't think that mattered particularly, but even if it did, an Iron Head the following turn would have killed it anyway, so it doesn't particularly matter. Now he's going to bring in Lucario. I have nothing for it. His Air Balloon hasn't popped. There's nothing I can do at this point. I have to just go for a Rock Slide. I should have gone for Iron Head, hoping for the flinch, because it has a better chance to flinch than Rock Slide does, I'm pretty sure. But I'm going to go for the Rock Slide to break his Balloon. I just went for anything. And, yeah, I'm going to take Life Orb Brico. I don't get the flinch. He's going to go for the Aura Spit and take out my xKito. Now, at this point, he has 3 Pokemon left. He has Lucario, he has Raichu, and he has Blastoise. Now, I have Infernape with Mach Punch. I know he doesn't have Extreme Speed. I do not want to risk him having Vacuum Wave. If I go for close combat, I can take out all his 3 pokes. But if he has Vacuum Wave, I die. So I have to go for Mach Punch, and to save my differential, to get as many kills as possible, I have to go for Mach Punch. He reveals, he told me afterwards, he did have Vacuum Wave and went for it that turn. So if I'd have gone for close combat, I would have lost right then. So I'm glad I went for the Mach Punch. Now, he's going to bring in Raichu. I know a choice-banded Mach Punch, Iron Fist, is going to take out Raichu, and it does. That's very nice. Now it all comes down to this. All he has left is Blastoise. Can I kill Blastoise with a Mach Punch at the range of HP it's at? I'm taking Sandstorm Recall, but it doesn't matter. I'm not going to die. He's going to bring in Blastoise. After Stealth Rocks, can I kill with a choice-banded Mach Punch? Can I do it? My camera stopped recording at the absolute worst time, and I don't get the kill. I don't get the kill. My camera, I hate you. He's going to go for a Skull, and he's going to take out my Infernape, and that is going to be the match. That's a very close 1-0 in favor of the Brafica. We lose against Titos, and my camera's running out of battery, which is great, and it just stopped recording at the possible worst time. So thanks, camera. Much appreciated. Good game, Titos. That was a lot of fun. I know I was so frustrated with that Healing Wish play, and it was my own fault. I ran out of time. I completely understand that. I know that, and I was so mad at myself for not going for Focus Punch on Sneasel, predicting the Lucario as well. And when I went for it against the Porygon 2, and then he stayed in for the Thunderbolt, I was like, oh, it's just... I just couldn't read Titos the entire match. That first play, when he went for the Grass Knot with Rhyperior, that just played with my head, and he just was in my head completely the entire match, and I didn't know what to do. I was panicking, I was nervous the entire match because of that. And yeah, Titos played very well, and I'm really frustrated because I felt like this should have been a match I should have won. He has such a huge ground weakness, and Sandrush xKito should have just, you know, been a relatively easy win for me. But Titos played very well, he prepared very well indeed, and props to Titos. It just sucks I missed a couple of Stone Edges, went for that Healing Wish instead of the Earth Power and stuff like that. But that's the way it goes. So we lose Week 3, Nottingham Forest Curse, and now 1 and 2. And I'm not 100% sure where we're going to fit on the table, as not all the matches have been played yet, but... be sure to watch the recap video that hopefully we're going up on the PPL channel itself to keep up to date with all that stuff. And week number 4, next week, we are playing Bayern Munich. We're playing Shardy over the Bayern Munich, and I'm absolutely terrified. This is going to be a horrible, horrible match. I'm so scared, but let's see how we do. Let's see if Nottingham Forest Curse can defeat the odds, and we'll come and take a win over the Bayern Munich. So, I'll see you guys next week for a match against Shardy. Of course, I forgot to say as well, links will be in the description for Titos. Please make sure to go check him out. He's a really, really great friend of mine, so please go check him out. It's definitely worth your time. But anyway, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please make sure to leave a like. Leave a comment showing your support for the Nottingham Forest Curse if you still do. Or if you think I played awfully, then don't support me anymore. Whatever. If you feel like it, you can subscribe and keep up to date with future uploads, such as next week's match in the PPL, week number 4 against the Bayern Munich. I'll see you guys next week. Toodaloo.